Hey there and welcome back to Sims Sunday. My name is Pete and in this series we try to complete The Sims 3. And we jump right into things and start today's episode off with Pauline. We finished the last episode with her still at work, now she has finished her shift and that means it's time to steal. Sadly, we waste one of her 3 kleptomaniac attempts on the lamp here. But with attempt number 2, we are then able to grab the object of interest. And for some reason, without an officer anywhere in sight, we still get arrested for that. So Pauline can now make her way over to jail once again. Back at home, meanwhile, things proceed as usual. Paul will start his work shift soon, and in anticipation of that, we will now have him work from home for 2 hours. Meanwhile, Patrick has also gotten up and has started work in the garden. Halfway through, however, we have to stop working with Paul. With his shift starting in less than 2 hours, his fun bar now needs our attention. Last but not least, Chastity is awake, and while she grabs breakfast, Paul teleports himself over to work. And despite the number of meetings held not quite where it needs to be, I'm still confident that he can get another promotion today. A short while later, it's also time for Chastity to leave. Her newly acquired part-time career won't start for another 7.5 hours, so let's have her play guitar for tips and make us a bit of money in the meantime. And now that everybody has left, we can buy a birthday cake. Because after celebrating Chastity's birthday in the last episode, today it's Patrick's turn. And here he is, Patrick has aged up to elder. And that brings with it the option to retire. And that is something that we definitely want him to do now. Retirement frees us from the burden of work, while still providing us with a daily influx of cash. And so, while Pauline returns from jail to grab something to eat, Patrick enters the science facility, we confirm retirement, and he can now enjoy himself. Back at home, Pauline has already gone back to sleep, while Patrick has started fishing again. He still needs to catch 12 more fish for the Commercial Fisherman skill challenge, and I think it's realistic to expect him to get that today. Before he does, however, Paul's work shift comes to an end, and with that, Paul gets a very important promotion. The promotion to level 8 in the business career makes Paul the CEO, and with that, he completes the CEO of a mega corporation lifetime wish. We still have 2 career levels to climb with him though, so the rest of the afternoon will be spent holding meetings. Over in the park, we sadly have to stop Chastity's guitar session because her shift in the bookstore part-time career is about to start. And Chastity could also get her very first promotion in that career today. Roughly 1.5 hours later, Paul's first meeting comes to an end, but he will immediately return for round number 2. At home, meanwhile, Pauline is well rested again, and with another shift starting tonight, we want her to be prepared, so it's time for a round of sim life goggles. And then Patrick finally makes it. After catching 350 fish, Patrick completes the Commercial Fisherman skill challenge, and with that we have now both skill challenges in the fishing skill completed, we have caught every single fish available, and I think we can rightfully say we have now completed the fishing skill. And now for Patrick, I have something very interesting in mind. As many of you have already noticed, Patrick has been a bit lacking in the department of love. And we are about to change that, and the first step in that process is grabbing the Midlife Crisis lifetime reward. And we will use that to get rid of a few traits, namely Genius, Natural Cook, and Angler. And we will now equip Patrick with a wide array of useful romance skills, starting with the flirty trait. That should make romance dialogue options much more successful. Afterwards, we will grab him friendly to have an easier time with social interactions in general. And then last but not least, great kisser, which will always give a positive moodlet when performing a kiss. To make sure we never bore anyone, let's also grab Never Dull. And I would say Patrick is now well equipped for a few romantic adventures. While he starts looking for a partner, we can quickly jump back home to Pauline. She has maxed out her fun bar and will now paint for the remainder of the time until she has to leave for work. Speaking of work, Paul completes another meeting, but once again, he's not finished for today. Then over in the park, Patrick starts conversation with a first potential partner. However, she seems to be taken already. And not only does she have a boyfriend, but she's actually married, and that is a pretty hard bond to break up. Then a quick jump over to Chastity. A short shift at the bookstore comes to an end for her, and she receives her first promotion. One more to go until she has reached the third and final level of the bookstore part-time career, but for the moment she can continue right where she left off and play some more guitar. Paul then wraps up his third and final meeting for today, and he can now head back home. Back home is also where we quickly feed Pauline 2 tomatoes, because another shift in the criminal career is about to start, and stealing stuff with an empty belly is only half the fun. So while Paul grabs himself a slice of cake for breakfast, Pauline teleports off, and the current state of her work performance meter makes me confident that she will get another promotion today. Over in the park, meanwhile, Patrick is switching targets. However, he is still not as successful as I would like him to be, because after a quick conversation we find out that Linda is also married. So while back at home Paul has already gone back to writing, Patrick will now cooperate with Chastity. Maybe we can find someone more suitable in the crowd that she has gathered. And look here, that seems to be a bit more promising. Seems like there is a bit of chemistry between these two. And yes, despite the fact that Yusun already has a boyfriend, she quickly responds to our flirting attempts. And even better, while Patrick seems to be successful with the ladies, a great opportunity also waits. The omnificent plant opportunity is what keeps Patrick from completing the gardening skill, and since an omniplant is the only plant that is still missing in his garden, we will gladly accept this opportunity. And now, well, sometimes you have to take some risks. And even though Patrick will probably make an enemy in the process, let's go in for the kiss. However, we still want these two to become boy and girlfriend tonight. For that to happen, however, we need her to break up with her current boyfriend, and that still takes a bit of convincing. So while Patrick is busy charming his way into Yusun's heart, Paul has already gone back to sleep, and with her audience doing the same, Chastity will now also return home. But Patrick then finally gets the option to ask her to break up with her current boyfriend, so let's see if she agrees. And it seems like she does, so that means we can now ask her to be our girlfriend. Meanwhile, we quickly get an opportunity for Pauline that we will of course accept because it improves career performance. And now back to Patrick. Yusun and Patrick are now girlfriend and boyfriend, and here is where things take a bit of a turn. I never planned for them to stay that way. In fact, let's break up with her immediately. And the reason for Patrick being an asshole here is the Heartbreaker lifetime wish. To complete that wish, we need him to have 10 boy or girlfriends. Not all of them simultaneously, but all of them in the same lifetime. And since lifetime is something that is slowly getting to an end with Patrick, we have no time to play around. So expect Patrick to break a few more hearts in the near future. And now we will wrap this episode up right where we started. I had to cut it short simply because I didn't have much time this weekend, but we still achieved a lot, so I think it doesn't hurt the episode too much. Next time we will then continue breaking the hearts of people in Sunset Valley. Until then, I can say thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.